Welcome back to part 2 of my Chicago Bears rebuild, and this is what the roster is going to be looking like heading into season number 2. Through 6 games, we are 3-3 on the season, in a tough division behind the Packers and the Vikings, where we end up finishing 10-7, and the Vikings end up going 12-5, and we do end up squeaking into the playoffs as a 6th seed. Now checking out some of the stats on the year, Justin Fields with another kind of average, semi-average year. Moving on to the running game where it needs a big improvement, where we're going to need to make that in the offseason. A little step up here in the receiving game, DJ Moore having a pretty good season. And defensively, no one really sticking out with any star-studded stats, but at least the team is good and we're still a top defense in the league. And then checking out some of the overall stats for the team, you guys can see offensively we did move up a little bit, and defensively still sticking as the top 10, 12 defense in the league. Now moving on to our first playoff game, we do end up losing this one to the Cowboys, where Dak Prescott had an absolutely perfect day, 6 touchdown passes, and a perfect passer rating. They do end up making it to the Super Bowl. However, they do end up losing to the Colts 24-14. Now moving on to the offseason, we do end up moving on from our guard and getting a couple of draft picks in return. Also moving on from our running back, a couple of draft picks to pick up a new center, and our big trade, 2 first-round picks, 3 seconds, and a 6th to move up to number 1 to draft a potential generational talent in Oscar Gaines. We also end up giving up a couple of draft picks for a 1-year rental on DeForest Buckner to beef up that defensive line, and this is our draft class. Nothing too crazy, but really banking on Oscar Gaines being a generational talent. And this is what the roster is going to be looking like heading into season number 3, where hopefully we can get this team to the Super Bowl.